Hello my beautiful book besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liv if you are new here, and today we are going to be chatting about my August TBR, but I actually have no idea what I'm going to be reading this month. First of all, I know it is not fall yet, but you guys know that because it's August and because I'm a Swiftie, I did have to bring out the folklore cardigan. I know I'm not the only person that is listening to August at this point, so I had to bring it out. This is kind of like a transitional fall video. We're getting into the fall reads, and I could not be more excited, so I had to bring out the cardigan today. For the month of August, we are slowly getting into fall reads, like I said, but also it's like that weird in-between where it's still hot outside, and honestly, I had no idea what I wanted to read this month. I do have a couple housekeeping things which we will get into in a second, but I chose 5 of my close friends to send me a video clip of one book they want me to read this month, whether it's a book they think I'll like, whether it's a book they love, or a book they just want to hear my thoughts on, and I could not be more excited. I'm definitely going to do this more in the future because the anticipation has been killing me, and I've just been so excited to film, which doesn't always happen. So I'm so excited to watch my friends' videos with you guys and just see what they chose for me. I not only chose 5 of my close friends to choose a book for me, but I decided that we would choose something from my TBR cart with a random number generator. On this cart is my top priority fall physical books, and I figured we could go ahead and maybe choose like 2, possibly 3 from this cart, and I'm also gonna laugh if any of my friends chose books from this cart. I went ahead and organized my cart for fall, so I was like, why not go ahead and just pick some random books from here as well? So I didn't do anything fancy, I didn't wrap them or anything because I do have to use them in other videos, but we are also going to be finding out from my cart what I'm going to be reading. But first things first, let's just go ahead and talk about what I've got going on over on Patreon this month. In case you were not aware, I host a monthly book club over on Patreon where we do a live discussion every single month, and the genres span from fantasy to romance to mystery thrillers, and you guys get to vote between 3 picks what you want for the month, and you guys chose The Lost Story for the month of August. Yes, I may have already read it and tabbed it like crazy, and I'm just so excited to talk about this book. The Wishing Game was like my favorite book that I read last year. If you guys have read this book or you're planning to read it anytime soon, I would definitely love to have you over on Patreon to discuss this with me. Another book club that I'm actually going to be co-hosting for is Savannah over on Riveting Reads. She asked me back again for the month of August to co-host with Jess, and I'm so excited, especially for the book we chose, which is Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. I'm actually terrified of this book, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a horror person, but I've heard that this book actually explores a lot of like family dynamic and childhood trauma in a very unique and interesting way. So even though I'm terrified, I think this is actually going to be a very fun read. The inside says a chilling horror novel about a haunting told from the perspective of a young girl whose troubled family is targeted by an entity she calls Other Mommy. But hey, if a book can scare me, the author is doing their job, right? So if you are interested in reading this one and kind of catapulting yourself into the fall season and you want a fall read, definitely pick this one up with us. I will leave the details of Savannah's channel below, and I believe it's August 28th that we are going to be discussing this one. The next quick thing that I wanted to mention is another Patreon readathon that is for my Patreon. If you guys don't know, I host a bi-monthly readathon where I choose a theme, I make graphics, we go all out for these readathons, and this August we are doing a Summerween readathon. Gabby Reads is like the ultimate Summerween queen, so I am in no way trying to copy her. Summerween has just kind of become like this general term where it's still summertime, but we also are craving like those spooky vibes. So that's exactly what this readathon is if you want to get a head start on your fall books. This is going to be starting August 19th, which I believe is a Monday, and going through August August 25th, which is a Sunday, and I am going all out, you guys. We are not only gonna have reading sprints, we're gonna do a craft night together where we can listen to our audiobooks. I'm planning to make some fall beaded bookmarks, which are gonna be so pretty and so fun to make. I'm also gonna be decorating for fall that week, and it's just gonna be the ultimate cozy fall week. We're also gonna be watching Beetlejuice together because I've never seen that, and I know the new version is coming out, I think it's September. So we just have all sorts of fun plans going on that week. If you are interested in joining, I would love to have you. I also have a lot of other fall content, including a dream collaboration I'm so excited about, where only Patreon will get those sneak peeks. I feel like the fall season is the perfect time to join my Patreon because we've got templates over there, we've got spooky book club things happening, like there's just so much going on. So just a little shameless plug for the Patreon, but I do want to go over what I'm going to be reading for this readathon and the prompts. I did want to go pretty general or broad with these prompts so you can read whatever you want. You could even read one book that would fulfill all of these prompts. We don't have a buddy read or anything like that, so I did choose 4 prompts, and the first one is to read a thriller or horror book, and for this one I chose Ghost Camera by Darcy Coates. If you guys watched my Summerween vlog, you'll know that Darcy Coates became an instant favorite author for me because I gave Ashburn House 5 stars. It was cozy, but it was creepy, but it wasn't too gory. It was just the perfect formula for me to give it 5 stars and just really want to dive more into this genre, and I feel like Darcy Coates is going to be within my comfort zone. When Jenny finds an abandoned Polaroid camera, she playfully snaps a photo without a second thought. But there's something wrong with the image. A ghostly figure stands in the background watching her, moving one step closer with every picture she takes. I have been a photographer for at least a decade at this point, and this book just sounds like the perfect book for me with the whole camera and picture situation. It sounds so creepy, and something I love about Darcy Coates is she tends to weave friendship elements into her books, which I really like. You kind of get invested in the characters and the emotional side of the story, and I just can't wait. Her mysteries and her plot twists are also incredible, so I'm very excited to jump into this one. The next prompt is to choose a book with ghost in the title or on the cover, and obviously I'm going to be choosing Ghost Camera for this one as well. I am also going to be doing a lot of other things that week, and so I'm going to be doubling up on prompts. We also have orange on the cover, which is very broad. There's a lot of books with orange, burnt orange, dark red kind of colors on the cover, but for this one I chose Silence for the Dead by Simone St. James, and this one specifically sounds so good and so creepy, and her books, her like paranormal elements in her books are always done so well. This takes place in 1919, where we have our main character Kitty, who is actually going to become a nurse, I believe, at a place called Portis House. It was once a magnificent estate turned hospital for soldiers left shell-shocked by the horrors of the Great War. A lot of these patients obviously struggle with mental instability from going through such a traumatic experience, but the interesting thing is a lot of these men are actually having the same exact dream, and there's some other weird ghosty like paranormal things happening within this house, and I feel like this is just gonna be so good. Like, I love anything at a mental institute. I know for some people that's like a definite no-go, but for me it's just so realistic and it makes it so much more creepier. So hopefully between these 2 mystery thrillers I will be able to fly through my TBR for Summerween. The next prompt is to choose a book set during Halloween or fall, and I chose Can't Help Falling by Courtney Walsh. I wanted to read this one last year because she so kindly sent it to me and I was so excited. It takes place in a town called Harvest Hollow, and I believe our male main lead is a football player. I could be wrong. It literally does not say on the back, but it talks about pumpkin cupcakes and Friday nights curled up with a romance novel and rain and just all these different vibes that are giving off fall for me. So I figured this would definitely balance out these kind of spooky books that I have going on. So we have a good balance for the week, and I can read this one right in between these 2. Okay, now we are to the most exciting part of this video. I'm going to watch Kyla's video first, which if you guys are not subscribed to Kyla, think about me and my reading taste, but like duplicated. We have the exact same reading taste. We like all of the same genres. We've rated some books the exact same, and I don't think I've ever met anyone that has like my exact reading taste, but also same like fashion sense and just everything. I feel like Kyla is my long lost twin, and she deserves so much more hype. She's the absolute sweetest. So let's go ahead and watch her video. I'm so nervous, but I also trust her 100% because again, our taste is exactly the same. Okay, here we go.
Hi, thank you so much for picking me. This was actually so fun. I went back and I scoured your Goodreads. I watched some videos. I watched some unhauls. I watched your most recent series video. I did not see you mention my pick, so I think it is about time. This is one of my all-time favorite fantasies, and that is Legendborn. Now, I can imagine your face right now because this is a thick book. It is thick, but it is one of the fastest reading fantasies I think I have ever read. Her writing is incredible, and I highly, highly, highly recommend the audiobook because it just heightens the experience. The audiobook is incredible. And this has everything that we love in fantasy. It has a love triangle. It has deep thought out characters. It has a little bit of found family. It has queer characters. It talks about race. It talks about grief. There's a lot of generational talk in there as well. And while it is a King Arthur retelling, it's so consumable, and I just absolutely loved it. I have fallen in love with this series, and I know that you will too. It is also the perfect transitional book because while it does take place at a school, it's not really like fall vibes, so I feel like it is the perfect time for you to read it, and I just need you to. I need you to be in the know with me, and I need you to experience this book, so Legendborn is my pick for your August TBR.
Oh my gosh! Okay. Kyla, I am cracking up, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. I started reading this book during 2020. I can't remember when this book was actually released. I started it and I never finished, and it's not because I was not liking it, it's just because I wasn't in the mood. So I have unhauled this book since then, but I know I can get the audio somewhere, and I trust you because like I said, the writing, when you were talking about the writing, I was like, yes, I remember the writing of this book being super good. So I'm really nervous to give this book another chance, but like I trust you, and I was not expecting you to say Legendborn. I don't think I recall you ever mentioning this book to me before. Maybe you've put it in your videos before, but wow, I'm actually kind of excited about it, especially because you said it's a good transitional book. I guess I'm about to dive into another fantasy series, but thank you, Kyla, for sending this. I'm actually really excited to give this book a second chance because who knows what could happen. Okay, next we have Hope from Hope on the Coast. Hope and I have been friends for quite a while. I feel like she's one of like my longest like book or bookstagram friends, and she's gonna be making a YouTube comeback with some fall content. So if you guys are not subscribed to her, she is just the sweetest, like most southern and gentle, like nicest friends. We both have the same humor. We both always hit it off every single time we talk, and I'm just so excited to see what she chose. Again, a little bit nervous, but we're doing well with number 1, so let's go ahead and watch.
So the book that I ended up picking for your August TBR is one of my favorites from last year, and that is Bring Me Your Midnight by Rachel Griffin. I picked this for a couple of different reasons. One, I know you love an atmospheric book. This is super atmospheric, and even though it's a YA, I still feel like a lot of people would really enjoy this, even if they don't necessarily always enjoy YA books. But this is also a really good summer to fall transitional book because you get the island and the water magic and the ocean and stuff to give you the summer feels, but you also get the coziness and the witchiness that, you know, gives you fall vibes. So I feel like this is a good book for August, and hopefully you enjoy it, and you'll have to keep me updated because I'm dying to hear what you think.
Yay! Okay, I am loving your choice, Hope, because this book is sitting right here on my top priority for fall to read, and now I'm even more excited to get to this. I was actually thinking about reading this weekend, so how crazy is that? I feel like you legit read my mind with this one. This one I was really hoping to read last year and I didn't get to. I read her other book. It's another witchy book, but I forget what it's called. I didn't really jive with that one, but I feel like this one, because it's more of like a cozy coastal witchy vibe, I feel like I could really end up falling in love with this author if I give her a second chance. So Hope, I feel like this was the perfect choice, and I can't wait to gush about it with you. Okay, next we have Elizabeth, who is one of my best friends, not just in the book community, but in real life, I guess we would call it. She lives far away, but I absolutely adore Elizabeth. She has the funniest, best book reviews that you do not want to miss out on. She is just a friend that can always brighten my day, whether she just tries to be funny or she just knows exactly how to pick me up, and I just love her so incredibly much. And I'm so excited to see what she chose for me because our reading taste almost always aligns on everything. So again, I trust her 100%. I feel like she has been dying for me to read Small Favors by Erin A. Craig for quite some time now, but I don't know if she's gonna choose like a fall read for me. I honestly don't know. It could be Spells for Forgetting because she knows how much I love Adrienne Young. So those are gonna be like my two guesses, but let's just find out together.
Hello, Olivia! I am so excited that I get to pick another book that hopefully you're gonna love for your August TBR. So I tried really hard to pick something, one, that you're not gonna expect me to pick, two, that I really do think you're gonna enjoy, and three, a book that you really do want to add to your August TBR.
Now I don't know.
And
wait,
I'm hopeful
is it Foxglove?
that I'm gonna accomplish that in this book, but we'll see. We'll see what you think. And before I show you this book, I'm pretty sure you do own it, but I'm kind of second guessing it. But don't worry, I checked with Kendall. She said she will let you borrow it if you do not have it. So, the said book is, drumroll please,
I'm scared.
What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. And I know you haven't read this, but I know it's on your want to read list.
It is.
And
top priority.
I personally was so surprised with this one. And the main reason why I'm picking it for you is because it's such a surprise of a book. And I think you might have the same sort of feeling when you're reading it. It kind of reminds me of Divine Rivals in a really weird way, just because
big shoes to fill.
It's magical and it's really well written.
Okay.
And there's history to it. It's very vibrant and culture, and it feels like a really good book to read in August because it does feel sort of summery, but it transitions with some spooky things. Okay. So as we approach fall, I feel like this could be a really good August pick. I also think that you're gonna like it because it's not heavy on the romance. It's good lighter. Point. It's a slow burn. It's just more into the plot and the story than the romance itself. So I'm really hopeful you're gonna like this one.
Yay!
If you don't like it, I'm really sorry.
Yay!
But I do know you well enough to know that you are a fan of really good writing, and I really think you can't argue that this writing is top notch. So this is the one I'm picking for you. I really hope you have it. And I really hope you're gonna like it. So fingers crossed. Love you.
She's literally about to have her second baby in just a couple weeks, and I'm just so excited. But Elizabeth, I do own this book. It's actually right here, and I am so excited about this because I have had this on my list ever since it came out. I have heard that Isabel is actually friends with Rebecca Ross, and so it sounds like they have very similar writing style and just taste and maybe even atmosphere. And these characters look so cool. So I'm actually super excited about this. It was not what I was expecting, obviously, but I feel like you threw me for a good surprise. Next we have the lovely Rachel, which if you guys don't know is the owner of the Bestie Book Sleeve. She is the biggest supporter of mine, not only because we're both the type 1s, but because we both basically own a business. She knows how to hype me up, and she just inspires me so much to keep going. And we also just love everything Taylor Swift. We love the same colors. Like, Rachel is my soul bestie, if you know what I'm saying. We just have so so many similarities. I see her as my big sister, and I just love her to death. So for her though, I don't really know what book she's gonna choose for me. I think it could be Spells for Forgetting or The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, because that is one of her all-time favorite books, and she's been trying to get me to read it for like 2 years now, and I'm also very excited to read it, but I don't know if she's gonna go off the rails kind of like Elizabeth did and choose something random. So let's just go ahead and watch.
Hello friend. Hi. I'm so excited to pick a book for you.
Me too.
For August TBR. You're probably thinking Rachel's going to pick The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. But I've told you to read that one way too many times.
True.
That's the backup. If someone picks the book that I'm about to pick, you can read that one. Because the other book I'm about to pick is a witchy book. Also, there's other ones I had in mind, like One Dark Window or Spells for Forgetting.
Is it gonna be Bring Me Your Midnight?
Those are great books. Great fall books. But since it's August and we're not quite into fall yet, I was thinking of a transitional book. And this book is so amazing for the atmosphere.
It's gonna be Bring Me Your Midnight.
Setting like on the ocean on an island with witchcraft. It's so good. I want you to read Bring Me Your Midnight. Please read Bring Me Your Midnight. This book is so good.
So well.
All around this gorgeous little island.
I can't wait.
It's just so enchanting and sweet and kind of dark. If someone else picks this one, read Secret Society of Irregular Witches or Spells for Forgetting if someone picks this one. But this one is the best one for a transition into fall. But I love you. Thanks for letting me choose a book. I'm so excited.
That is so funny, but honestly totally expected, because my friends know me, you guys. My friends know me so well, and I'm so excited. So I could just go ahead with Bring Me Your Midnight and make it easy, but I think I actually have Spells for Forgetting right here. So Rachel, I love you. Thank you so much for sending your clip, but I think I'm actually going to choose Spells for Forgetting. Or I might just secretly read Irregular Witches and not tell you. Last but definitely not least, we have my beautiful best friend Kendall. If you guys don't know Kendall, everybody needs a friend Kendall in their life. She is not only the funniest person I've ever met, but she just gets me like no other person does. She is the type of friend where if you call her or ask her for anything, she will drop everything she's doing and come running to your doorstep, and I have just never met anyone that's so loyal. She not only is the sweetest best friend, but she also has a booktube channel, so you guys should check out her content. We have very similar reading tastes. I'm trying to think of what book she could potentially choose for me. I want to take a guess, but I honestly have no idea, so let's just see what she says.
So I'm choosing this book because I feel like I have wanted you to read this ever since I read it. It's one of my favorite cozy fantasy books of all time.
Assistant to the Villain.
And I really want you to read this one this month because I'm going to be rereading it, and it'll be just in time for the sequel to come out, and I'm choosing Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer.
How did I not guess that?
I hope that you love it as much as I do,
that?
and I can't wait for all of your thoughts.
This is a fantasy that has been at the top of my cozy fantasy priority list for forever, so I feel like this is going to be the perfect push that I need to finally get into this series. I really wanted to get more into cozy fantasy specifically, and this one just sounds hilarious. I know this has like a fun little romance in it. It sounds very adventurous and almost fairy tale-like, so I'm so excited to get into this one finally. Honestly, I could not have chosen a better reading month for myself. These are books that I would 100% put on my August TBR, including Legendborn, of course, which I will probably get from the library, but I've definitely got my work cut out for me, because even though my friends know me well and clearly they all chose fantasy books, it's going to be a little bit harder to get through all of these, so I am going to try my best. But thank you so much to all my beautiful friends who participated in this video. I definitely am going to have some other friends or these ladies come back and choose some more books for me. me. This was just so much fun. I was anticipating filming all week long to see what they chose for me. Thank you ladies so much. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I have all of my top fall physical like priority books on this cart, just the top and the middle. And we're only going to choose 2 books because everybody else chose fantasy and I really need something different. I do have fantasy at the top, and then the bottom there's actually some graphic novels, some mystery thrillers, a couple of romance. There's now only 24 books to choose from, so let's just go ahead and see what the number is. Okay, we have number 2, so we're gonna start at the top and go 1, 2. So the second book right here is The House Witch, which I was not expecting, but that's okay. We have another big fantasy book, another cozy fantasy, another witchy fantasy, so I guess August is just gonna be like a really fun witchy month. Our main character, Finley, joins the staff in the kitchen. She's a kitchen witch, so she joins the staff of like this royal family, and it sounds kind of like maybe a Cinderella retelling of some sort. I don't really know what to expect from this. I've just heard really great things. This is definitely giving off the perfect fall vibe, and I guess we're adding another fantasy to my list. Alright, we are now going for our second round. I'm so nervous after that one. I really want something easy to read that isn't a fantasy. Maybe I should have like mixed these up a little bit more. Okay, we have number 7, which is probably gonna be another fantasy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is another fantasy called Foul Days that just came out recently, and I have been hearing crazy good things about this, so I'm honestly really excited. The Witcher meets Naomi Novik in this fast-paced fantasy rooted in Slavic folklore. This sounds like a very urban, high-stakes fantasy, which I think is going to be a very different vibe from the rest of the books I've chosen, but I love The Witcher. I have not read Naomi Novik yet, but maybe this is a clear sign I need to prioritize her. We are adding another fantasy book to this TBR. Alright friends, well that concludes my very fall fantasy filled August TBR, which I was not expecting, but honestly tracks because you guys know I'm a fantasy reader. I love fantasy and I was planning to get more into fantasy this fall anyways. So honestly, I could not have chosen a more perfect TBR, but thank you so much to my lovely friends for contributing to this video. I'm definitely gonna try my hardest to get through all of these books, but if not, I'm just gonna bump them to my September TBR because I really want to read all of them. Let me know what you are excited to read in August. Is it too early for you to read fall books, or are you like me and you're definitely planning to read some spooky stuff already? Thank you for supporting my channel. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video.